The third edition of the Royal Ocean Racing Club Nelson's Cup Series was a spectacular regatta with a total of 35 boats taking part, including for the first time, a maxi class with 8 powerful boats revelling in the big conditions.
The RORC Nelson's Cup Series kicked off in spectacular style with high-speed action and tight finishes right through the 3 IRC classes. Antigua is renowned for some of the world's best sailing conditions, and it was delivered in spades with 20 knots of easterly wind sweeping the race course. The RORC race team, assisted by the Antigua Yacht Club, set courses off the south coast of Antigua with all classes completing the scheduled 2 races. Making full use of the superb racing conditions, the RORC race team set legs of varying length with a mixture of wind ansells. The winners were Carl Komarek's 5, Nicholas Zenstrom's Karkik 52, Ran RP 37, Warthog, skippered by Jules Mitchell, Andrea Recordates, Worley 93, Bullet, and Philippe Francis NM 43, Albator. The first race saw a full-throttle battle for the podium in IRC1. Nicholas Zenstrom's Karkik 52, Ran, claimed victory after IRC time correction by 84 seconds. Frederick Buzin's Karkik 54, De Get 5, took line honours but was second after IRC time correction. Team Ran won the second race of the regatta, becoming the only boat with a perfect scoreline, but it was far from an easy win.
This is your weekly Global Sailing Highlights show, The World on Water, February 28, 2025. The highly anticipated 16th edition of the Royal Ocean Racing Club's Caribbean 600 blasted off from Fort Charlotte, Antigua, right on schedule. All 5 starts went off flawlessly as the diverse fleet of 66 international entries launched into the ultimate offshore tropical challenge, an exhilarating race weaving through 11 stunning Caribbean islands. With the trade winds pumping over 16 knots from just south of east and gusting up to 20 knots, the stage was set for a spectacular showdown in paradise.
Yeah, well, we're about to race on a 600-mile offshore Caribbean around the island.
As Mark, the crew, just said, it's sunny and a chance of racing fast.
I tell my crew every time we get on board, we're going to send it, so that's what we're doing today.
We're a bit over the deadline to go out, so a bit nervous.
God, what is the time?
8:30.
8:30. 2.5 hours until the start of the race.
A very warm welcome to you wherever you are in the world from Fort Charlotte, Antigua, for the start of the 2025 RORC Caribbean 600. We have got picture-perfect conditions, 17 knots from the east, and glorious tropical sunshine.
All competitors in the Caribbean 600 race, this is Ocean 1, good morning. The ODM is in position and can be pinged. This is Ocean 106. Have a great race.
your thoughts and feelings around me.
The headline is, Jenna Gibson breaks windsurfing speed record. We have an exclusive interview with her at the RORC Dinghy and Watersports show. Quiet and shy on first appearances, yet the minute she steps on a slalom board, Jenna Gibson becomes a force to be reckoned with. Undefeated in the IFCA World Championship since 2018, Jenna is undoubtedly the queen of the fin.
Hi, I'm Jenna Gibson. I'm going to be doing a talk later on about my windsurfing speed world record that happened in November and the whole journey around that and the whole trip. I've always loved racing and I've always loved going fast, but speed sailing in particular is just a whole level of thrill, and nothing beats it. The adrenaline rush is immense. The beauty of windsurfing is that they can take you all over the world. So hopefully just share that love and inspire people to get into the sport. My next event is the Speed World Championships in April, which I'm hoping to win, but we'll see. And then I've got a whole season of racing, and then at the end of next year I hope to go back to Namibia and improve on my world record from this year. So this is my first time ever at the RORC show. There's a massive buzz, kind of bumping into all sorts of people that I've met from all around the country and all around the world. So yeah, it's a great place and I'm really impressed.
Arnaud Boissières, the skipper of l'Armia Caline, informed his technical team that he had dismasted late in the Vendée Globe. He was 27th in the race, and he was more than 2,500 miles from the finish, at the longitude of Cape Verde in a group of 5 skippers. Arnaud explained that he had secured his boat, and that he was headed to Cape Verde. The Les Sables d'Olonne-based Boissières is the only skipper to have finished 4 Vendée Globe races in succession, having taken part in every edition since 2008.
C'est quand même pour moi important d'être arrivé par les propres moyens à Martinique, mais il y a un gros goût d'inachevé, il y a un gros goût de revanche et j'ai fait une grosse partie du morceau, donc c'est une belle leçon aussi. J'ai fait 4 Vendée Globe, j'ai fini 4 et mon 5e. J'ai pas réussi à le finir, c'est pour ça que depuis l'humour j'ai dit j'ai fait le Vendée Rock. C'est une expérience de vie importante, personnelle, mais aussi d'équipe. Les gars ils ont été super, mais aussi quand on accueille que c'est là, ça je suis au cœur, donc j'ai forcément envie d'y retourner. Ouais.
Grae Morris, born the 16th of October 2003, is an Australian sailor. He competed in the IQ foil event at the 2024 Summer Olympics, where he won the silver medal. Morris grew up in the eastern suburbs of Sydney. His father, Brett Morris, was a former national windsurfing champion. By the age of 11, he was competing at formula and slalom events across Australia, transitioning to the foil discipline at age 14.
Hi, I'm Grae and I won a silver medal in Paris 2024 Olympics. Yeah, after games we had quite a bit of things to work on that we debriefed, so it was just about taking the right amount of time off and getting back together with my other crafts that I do. So I spent a lot of time just jumping back in the water, doing a bit of everything that I missed out on during the games, and then slowly getting back into the local regattas and showing some support around Australia. And then we just got back from New Zealand, where we had the New Zealand Nationals to help prep up for the Europe trip. It was pretty awesome getting off the plane, seeing everyone that's pretty important to you, and a lot of the people who've been there for the last 20 years of my life, supporting, kind of this program to getting the medal at the games. Yeah, I think it was just cool to have kind of sailing on the board for some of the awards, and then also if you get nominated you get to go to the dinners and the prize ceremonies, so kind of mincing around all the other sports and making some new friends was awesome, and a few of them I managed to win, so yeah, I was super happy. Yeah, I like to spend some time in Bondi, and I do a bit of winging, some prone foiling, surfing, and supping, and a few other things there. So yeah, just getting back into it before I have to go over to the cold side of the world. Yeah, so we changed our sail size. We dropped down. The men were on a 9 metre, we're now on an 8, and the women were on an 8 metre, they're now on the 7.3. So we've had the process of kind of that change and trying to figure out what's good and what's not good. And so it's been a slow but smooth process, and I think we're going to find a lot out in the next couple of regattas overseas, and yeah, see what's happening. Yeah, I think everyone understands what the next goal is for. I mean, the 2028 kind of season. We got 3-4 years of kind of big competitions, so staying kind of accurate and discovering the top of the fleet again, and just trying to learn as much as possible so that there's nothing gone to waste by the time 2028 comes.
The Megas Barbecue Race is always a fan favorite at Lincoln Week. This year we caught up with birthday boy Callan Howard from Fresh, as well as 2012 Olympic gold medalist Lily Shue, who is in Port Lincoln sailing on Reverie. Alan Woodward's Reverie looks to be in a good position on overall IRC, but with Port Lincoln-based Sydney 47, Fresh, being chartered by the secret men's business crew, it made for a super close battle.
Certainly, I suppose, like all good places, right? It never gets old and it's never not bloody perfect. And today is another perfect example. Little light breeze, 30-40 boats out there, whole heap of mates. Yeah, just fantastic. Look, it doesn't always fall on Megas. It usually falls on the week or before or just after. So to have the 50, the half a century, turn up on today, been really lucky to have Kim Clark lend us his boat. He came for a yacht with us today, which is fantastic. So yeah, boys are together. There's no way that we were not going to be here. It looked pretty silly turning up in the motorboat. The racing is just as good, Rod. There's probably more boats that we're racing against, and it's harder to extract more out of the boats that we're racing. But certainly for a few decades, the team hasn't had that much time to talk to each other while we're actually racing. Things are happening a little bit slowly, and I don't know whether that's good for us. Betch sold the orange boat, and that was a bit of a surprise. And since that was announced sort of November last year, we went on the hunt to try and find another boat. Fast 40 was the thing on the agenda. It's a really nice boat. It's a nice little 40 class building in Victoria. With a bit of luck, we'll go visit them, or we can talk them into visiting here and keep the Grand Prix end of the regatta going.
Hello, I'm Lily Xu Lijia. I used to be a laser radio, which is now Yoka 6 sailor, and then I've been to 3 Olympic campaigns, and then now officially retired a year ago, and then trying to explore more sailing opportunities, especially for my winter, and all, to spend the summer here in Australia. Great sailing, great weather, and great people, and I feel very fortunate given the opportunity to sail together with Reverie from Royal Brighton Yacht Club, and yeah, I just couldn't help enjoy every single second. And I'm sure once you've done that and once you've experienced the people, that's one of the reasons people will come back for this event. For my sailing background, I spent 20 plus years just sailing dinghies, a little bit boring, and then every day is just hours and hours and just hard training, whereas I feel actually really fortunate to be a sailor. Even if we retire from Olympic campaign, I feel just like a university graduate. There's so many different types of sailing to explore, and then doing some events, combining a bit of fun holiday and then explore different parts of this country. I just feel so fortunate to be a sailor and then enjoying the rich sailing atmosphere in Australia. Port Lincoln is really a great place to sail every day, like so many different islands we can explore, just really great diversity of sailing experience, and I would definitely come back for more.
Solo around the world racing today changed forever as 13 men and 2 women from 8 countries today set sail from the small Caribbean island of Antigua Barbuda to race solo around the world in mini, 19 feet, 5.8 meter, ALMA Globe 580 yachts. They're only home for the next 13 months. Why? To prove something to themselves, no doubt, but they may not know that yet. This grueling marathon has only just begun. It will not be easy. Leg 1 is to Panama, 1,200 miles to the west. Then it is another 24,000 miles back to Antigua.
A solo adventure race of this magnitude has never been tried before. No one can say for sure it is even possible. Each of the sailors know and firmly believe it is, or they would not be there and would not have spent years building their boats in backyards and garages around the world. Whatever the outcome, they are about to show the world that dreams are worth chasing and responsible risk-taking can be the path to a life well lived. There is one thing for certain, their lives will never be the same again. The McIntyre Mini Globe race, conceived and organized by Australian adventurer and solo sailor Don McIntyre, just reset the rules for solo around the world racing. You don't need big money, you don't need to be an elite sports person, you certainly don't need anything high-tech. You just need some plywood, passion, perseverance and big dreams to inspire a belief in yourself that it can be done and must be done. Everything about this McIntyre manager runs against the norm, except for the fun factor that is through the roof and the serious nature of the solo challenge. That's just how McIntyre likes it. He also runs the Extreme Solo Golden Globe race around the world. You can track the fleet 24 hours through Yellow Brick Tracker. ALMA Globe 580 costs just 50 to 60,000 euro to build and equip. You can sail them pulling strings without winches, and you can retire below to bake a cake or stream YouTube movies from your comfy bunk. The racing is intense and close, as these ALMA Globe 580 yachts are all the same strong, seaworthy, easy-to-build design. Nearly 100 sailors in 37 countries are actively building them using sustainable plantation marine plywood, creating a low-carbon footprint yacht at just 19 feet or 5.8 meters long. It was another beautiful blue sky, warm trade wind day in Falmouth Harbour, Antigua, when these excited sailors cast off from the National Sailing Academy dock, hosts of the manager. All but one had previously raced 3,600 miles solo across the Atlantic in the Globe 580 Transat from Rubicon Marina in Lanzarote, Canary Islands, to qualify for the McIntyre manager. Australian Gary Swindale shipped his Globe 580 from Australia. It arrived late, so he is currently out completing his qualifying miles before crossing the start line a week late. For the rest, the past 3 weeks were a rush of briefings, safety checks, parties, and Antigua holidays, a last chance to be normal for over a year. With foghorns blaring, the Mini Globe fleet formed a sail parade through the mega yachts of Falmouth Harbour Marina and the Antigua Yacht Club, bidding them farewell, see you next year. As they passed, huge mega horns reciprocated and yacht crews shouted well wishes, maybe a little stunned, amazed, and clearly scratching their heads at what they were witnessing. On the 10-minute gun, Eric March on Sunbear had a headsail issue and sailed straight for a reef unaware it existed, not quite looking where he was going. Not a good idea, so to his surprise gently slid up onto it, just as the race director Don arrived to warn him. He sailed off under a spinnaker about 8 minutes later, eventually crossing the line last. Captain Coconut of Golden Globe race fame, and also as captain of Explorer in the 2023 Ocean Globe race, provided the start vessel. On board 11-year-old Leah Goodwin from the National Sailing Academy fired the start gun, and they were off in this historic event. Adam Moir, number 170 Little Wren, was first across the line. He had suffered 2 displaced fractured ribs close to his spine in the voyage across the Atlantic. Now fully recovered and in a hurry, he was flying like that little wren that used to visit him every day for 2 years while building his Globe 580. With the manager underway, Coconut weighed anchor and set off after the 580 fleet for his 3rd quick lap of the planet in company, just for the fun,